Alrighty, hello and welcome everybody. Blake here for the Will Regret channel. Just trying to come back on a Friday, keep things relatively low-key and nice and chill. Looks like we got all our stream sources running properly and doing the things that they need to be doing, so that's always good to see. And I think that today we're just going to kind of wind down. I was doing a bit of daily racing earlier on in the week, I think on Tuesday. And right now I just want to kind of take a moment to chill. Just do a quick endurance race. Try and test and make sure everything's working properly, because I was having some mild bitrate issues last time around. So this is sort of a systems test, but also just a good chance to just chill and unwind and get into some endurance racing, which I always love to do. So coming off the back of the 12 hours of Sebring, I was kind of looking for something that might be a little bit similar in nature to that race without being quite as involved. Obviously, we do not have any Sebring here on GT7, so you can probably tell by the title that I've opted to go for the Sardegna road course, and this time we're going to be doing the Sardegna layout A. It's in the normal direction, and we're going to go ahead and set up a custom race. I've already got most of the settings already ironed out. I've been playing with this a little bit. So we will have a multi-class on our hands now. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves set up in the Group 1 cars. We've got, I think, 6 cars in Group 1, 6 cars in Group 2, and 8 in Group 3. And so we'll have some lap traffic going on. We should have plenty of stuff to contend with. Heavy damage, as you can see on the screen here. And roughly 6x on tires and fuel. Most of the cars in our class will be running medium tires. And I think the Group 3s will be running hards. But otherwise, it should be relatively low-key. I don't think we're going to have a great advantage, though, because I'm going to be running the Toyota GR010 Hybrid, the LMH car, effectively, and I've got a couple of TS050s in the field, and they have been blitzing me in testing, so we will see how that all goes. I have a bit more battery capacity than them, but it seems like they have a bit of an edge almost everywhere else, so we'll have to get them on cunning and traffic management. But that really should be about it, so we'll go ahead and just jump right in. And also, I set up bets on the channel as well, so if you guys have any inklings, or Twitch chat especially, if you have any inklings on how the race is going to go, whether it's going to be a podium, last place, crash out, anything like that, especially with heavy damage, that'll be pretty debilitating. You can go ahead and place your bets now. Leave it open for a little while, probably a good 5-10 minutes. Go ahead and open that up if I can, if it will let me. Old Streamlabs is acting up, so I'll go ahead and open that for a second. Go ahead and chill here. But if you guys are in the chat, go ahead and drop a line and let me know you're here, so we can go ahead and say hey, catch up on everything. If you have any races that you're excited to see coming up, whether that's this weekend or next weekend, I know we have the F1 race in Japan. It's going to be nice and early this year. I'm very excited to see that, especially after, 2 years of Max Verstappen dominance, finally not having him win a race. That was a whole thing. But I'm not certain that's going to continue. We'll see. And we should have game audio. Just want to check and make sure that's the case. Yeah, it looks like that's all running properly. Not sure what the heck this music is, but I have it on streamer mode, so it's obviously not playing any of the licensed tracks. Here we go. There we go. Yep, betting should have just opened. So if you think it's going to be a top 5, go ahead and just put exclamation point bet, followed by your bet. We have top 5, we have win, crash out, podium, last, and top 10. Those are all pretty much, you just hit exclamation point and bet, and then as I've pretty much said them, top 5 and top 10 are going to be with no space. The other ones are all just one word. So yeah. Oh, I guess it works on YouTube as well. So if you are feeling spicy, go ahead and run it. For those of you guys who have the requisite points, if you don't, just go ahead and stick around. We'll go ahead and build up those points for you on the channel as we keep the streams running. So you get a nice cadence on that D major chord. I'm going to go ahead and slip on my other glove. My weeb shirt. Make sure I'm on the right tires. I am. So yeah, I think we're going to get probably 9 or 10 laps of fuel here. And it should be the same for most of the, what's it called, Group 1 cars. If we look at the field really quick, I don't think we can see everybody, but if we want to look down the top 10, we've got the TSO50 starting on pole, followed by a Bugatti VGT, which probably will not be running at the front very long. We'll see, though. Another TSO50 behind that, then the 787B in 4th, and then we have both the GR010 starting 5th and 6th. Then we have the Group 2 cars after that going from 7th down to 12th. I've actually kind of set it up so they're all different. I was sort of thinking about doing it so it was more balanced, and so you had just LMH cars in Group 1, and we had just had like Super GT cars, or like just like the NSX GT in Group 2. But I didn't have enough cars for that. All the liveries would have been the same, would have been pretty boring, so I decided against it. Plus, the field was running pretty even during testing yesterday, so I stuck with it. And then Group 3 is pretty varied. I also have a lot of my own liveries in the field just kind of peppered in, so I'm almost just treating this like a scrim. And then maybe we'll work on a couple more liveries after this just to kind of get a couple of the cars for the field spicier in case we come back to this format again. But this is going to be the first time doing like the multi-class with the Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, which I think is going to be probably the way that I'm going to approach it going forward, because in testing this has actually worked out really well. The overall pace of the field is nice. It's on point where I want it. Lap traffic is right where I want it. Everything's working out pretty well. There might be a couple where I do just Group 2 and Group 3, or maybe just all Group 3, or Group 3, Group 4. Whatever it ends up being, we'll go ahead and roll with it. It all just depends. 2 minutes left on that betting, guys, by the way, if you want to get into that. Make sure my assists are good. I'm going to run some traction control, but I'm only going to do weak ABS, so I do have to do some work on the brake pedal. It's not going to just all be good old GT brakes. I'm going to have to at least modulate them a little bit to really get the car to work for me. But outside of that, should be all good. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and start the race once we have a minute left on betting. It should go ahead and close on its own. 15 seconds or give or take. And then we'll go ahead and get the show on the road. And then if we're feeling good, if the stream's holding up well and everything's working right, like I said, we might do liveries. That helicopter's doing a bunch. That's a weird pattern. Might do liveries. Heck, might even jump into some more daily races. I would be open to it, but we'll see. Meantime, let's get it going. 1 hour 30 on the clock. Starting P5, rolling start. We're gonna go right into it. Yep, Bugatti's already falling back immediately. Immediately. Down to 6th place. And I'm going to keep an eye on I'm going to have to keep an eye on the weather too, because it is set to random. So we might just have a bit of work to do. The main bit of work to do, though, is not to crash into anyone or anything, because if we hit stuff, we're probably going to get damage with it being on heavy. And the thing is, the GR010, it's a very intuitive car to drive. It is not the most, it's not the fastest, and it's not the most planted. It tells you when it's doing stuff, but... Ooh, I'm way too deep on the brakes. Okay. A little nudge from our teammate there. And I would have just bought more cars to vary out the field more and have different looking stuff, and maybe even just like some default livery GR010s to kind of work against, but I'm really broke right now. I think I have like 60,000 in-game credits, so it is a little bleak over there. But running a solid P4 right now. You can kind of see that the old LMP1 cars are starting to run away with it a bit. So I think we can start to reel them in. Because the one place that we really do have them covered is in a straight line. So you have to be fast enough in the corners to make it count. So we can keep up in a straight line. We already have 2.5 seconds on our team car. We're staying with the 787B, which is going to be faster than us in a straight line. Maybe he gets to use him for some slip. The biggest thing I need to focus on is just making sure I get the best setup through these corners, because I'm going to be just outclassed in acceleration. And not run too wide there, because that's going to be a tricky corner. If we look at the fuel calculations, it's saying we got about 7.3 in the tank left in terms of laps, so we'll probably get to about 9 on fuel unless we start saving a little bit. You can see in a straight line, we're pulling him back in. So that gap will go all the way out to about 4 seconds, and then we can reel him back into a little under 3 on that front straightaway. Just by virtue of how much quicker we are at the tail end of it. I feel like the traction control isn't doing a ton to help us, but it's not hurting us too much either. Certainly not hurting us. I mean, the car is slippery. It wants to get away from you pretty easy. So draft this 787 down. Brake just after the 150, and okay, we finally got the apex there. Nice. And lap times are certainly a little bit quicker than you would find at Sebring. We're doing 130s, 129s, but it should still make for a pretty dynamic race. We might have to do some work to really save fuel here as well. Okay, we're getting the gap down. Gone down to just under 2 seconds. Might even be running out of some hybrid boost juice up there, which is now is our time to take advantage of that. The 787 is hanging particularly well. Meanwhile, the other seems like the other GR010 is quite a ways behind, and the Bugatti's even further back. They're separated from each other. We're hanging with the front pack pretty well, actually. Though I'm starting to see a lot of different packs starting to form. So it should be pretty interesting to kind of figure out. We're only about 5 minutes deep though, so we got plenty of race to cover. And we're keeping that gap close, so that's good. And I kind of wanted to run this one with no ABS, but really it's getting to that point where, like, if you get even like a micro lock on here, it will literally just ruin the corner for you. And I get that that's not unrealistic. Like, those are the consequences that you're playing against when you are running cars like this, that like a lockup is going to severely compromise your corner. But it was just like to the point where like you wouldn't get any real feedback as to whether the car was close to the threshold. You would just hear it kind of silently screeching the tire in the background, and your corner was already well beyond compromised. And that was really annoying to me. Oop, 787 goes off a little bit there, dips a wheel. I'm starting to come up on GT traffic already. It's not even been 10 minutes. Oof, big hit. That might be a pit entry for the 787. Slow down quite a bit. Surprised the Subaru's all the way back here. Seems like they're having a little bit of trouble getting around. A lot of traffic. I'm going to slow down just a bit. They're also slowing down quite a bit. No damage, luckily. But rather annoying that that happened the way that it did. Maybe up to P1. And then now they're going to try and take me up the inside. Okay, so they're fighting back. They are not just taking it lying down. I appreciate it, but also I'm annoyed. Get over... Ah, I can't even do anything about it. They're just lighter than me. They're quicker than me. They're better than me. Where it counts, where it hurts the most. But you know what I have? I have more hybrid power in the reserve. Can I do anything with it? Not really, but it'll come into play later, I think. Leave me space. But so far, it's looking all right. Can't seem to shake third, and I'm not really catching first all that much. All I need is a little bit more traffic to trip them up, and I should be able to get it. Team cars going into the pits. Got about 48 liters of fuel. I think they're doing better on gas than us, actually. Let's go the short way around, actually. Ooh, that was a little bit of a hit. More than a little bit, if you ask me. You gotta be careful going around these guys too. You can't just shove them out of the way, because you will get damaged too. So it gets pretty dicey. And they're trying to shut me down there. It gets very interesting. It gets very interesting trying to fight these guys. Oh, and they go off. I'm gonna just check up just to make sure that I don't get myself into any spicy situations. This is what it's all about. It's a measured gate that you have to take through here. The likes of which the AI are struggling a little bit with. But it's fun. I'm having a good time. And one thing I really like is that even if you turn all of the HUD off with this car, it actually gives you a pretty good sense of like what is going on. It tells you when the TC is kicking in. It gives you a good idea of the fuel burn. It gives you it paints a good picture of excuse me, I'm sorry. Pretty much everything you would need to know, except for the ABS or the wheel locking. Like you have no clues when the wheels are locking, so that sucks. But everything else it gives you a good picture of. So even if you have all of this information off screen, can still put together a pretty good sense of what your race is looking like. I think it shows you lap times as well. It doesn't really give you hybrid. Actually, no. I think it does give you hybrid numbers. I just forget where it's at. I think it tells you when it's deploying, too. And we are in the lead, but it's a pretty narrow lead at that. Less than a second. We might have cleared most of the GT traffic. Oop, 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 oop. Had a little off there. Say check up, and I go deep. And that's me back in a second, because I made one mistake. 2 mistakes. Mercifully, the car is still intact. But we should have, I think, unless we save some fuel, 1 lap left. Like, this should be our end lap. I'm gonna try and do some fuel saving then, I guess. Could turn down the wick on the engine, but I think I'd rather just try and short shift it. Lift out a little bit. Nice. Short there. I forget which one Bauer is, but they are having a bit of a torrid time, because I think that's already the second time they've come to the pits on 71 liters of fuel. So clearly something has not gone to plan there. Though I think Leb is even further back. I think Bauer is the Bugatti. If I'm not mistaken, that could have been a hit. So they're already on their second pit stop, but they are doing better than the GR010, which took some damage, if I'm not mistaken. I think I should be okay. I think I can make it 1 more lap, so that's what I'm going to try and do. So yeah, it's giving me the warning now. It's 1.1. So we'll just gear up pretty early and keep on going. One of the other Toyotas is staying out as well, but one of them's coming in. The one thing I dislike is that the pace differential is a little bit high in some cases. I really feel like I'm passing them at extraordinarily high rates of speed. Where if I was with other drivers who really knew what they were doing, might not so much be the case. Speed right on into the pits. There's an argument to be made for taking softs even, because of the fact that the tires are still in relatively good shape at this moment in time. We're on about the same fuel coming in. 6 car versus a 7 car, so we'll see how it goes. It's going to take full fuel. Oh, dang. Did they fuel it faster than I did? I got beat in the pits. It's like that, man. So we're down to 3rd. Or did they not take tires? One of the two. If I keep consistently getting beaten in the pits, I'm going to start trying to not take tires, but we'll see. Okay, they both found a way around the Corvette pretty easily. Team car. Supposed to hold them up a little bit more, team car. What are you doing? Meanwhile, is Mercedes doing the work of the gods over here? The stream's looking a mite choppy on my end, so if you guys are seeing any weirdness on your side, let me know. It's supposed to be running 30, but it looks like it's a little closer to 20 if you ask me. But even after the pit cycle, we are about even Stevens with not one, but two of the other Group 1 cars. Unfortunately, it looks like the other three may have fallen off. Oh, oh, I think they got damage. It sounds like they got damage. So that might have ruined them. But still a long race to go. It's also very interesting that they can also pick up damage sort of through their interaction with multi-class, because they're not really super well attenuated to that. So I'm interested to see how that's going to continue to matriculate over the course of the race. Because if my concentration slips, I'm going to get damaged too, and depending on how severe it is, it might ruin me. But now we're just kind of at the settle-in point. You know, we just got to get our race down to a science, which I feel like at this stage we kind of have, though. I'm also seeing this weird trend where second place is closing in fast on me at a rate of knots. So not sure what's up with that. So yeah, they're still charging hard. So maybe I set the race up like this, but it is what it is. Also, I can see that new Toyota GT1 up ahead. I did, in fact, plug that one into the race before the stream started. Just to see how it would do, figure out where it's at. Everything is on BOP right now, by the way. This is a high-speed track, so it's all BOP high speed. So this might give us an inkling of an idea of how that car is going to perform in its meta. Might not, but we'll see. Meanwhile, second place is closing. We will see at what rate. I'm definitely going to keep a little bit in the back pocket just so I don't get into any sticky situations if I can help it. So one of them's going to come up sooner or later, whether I like it or not. The goal is to stay out of trouble. Got Toyota. The Supra, the GT1, and GR010. Dang, okay, matching me out of the corner, why don't you? See how it is. The other thing to note is that GR2 is not all that much slower than Group 1. I also wonder how this car is going to act once it runs out of hybrid, because I think that is going to be a thing that just happens. Meanwhile, our gap has decreased down to 3.5 seconds behind, so we're going to have to be relatively careful. I also think there is a Group 2 car that is in the top 6 currently. I want to say P5 is the one. There's an imposter in our midst. And also, the fast lap has now gone down to a 125. So clearly some shenaniganry is going on. I'm getting the impression that the other Group 1 cars are really quick up to the point where they run into traffic. And once that happens, they're going to get bogged down. Like I said, they're catching and quick, but it's situational. Oop, shoot. Just gotta be careful not to drop the dang car. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, I definitely have some level of interest in like setting this up in like a league style format. Maybe doing like a calendar if you want to, say, get into some GT7 endurance racing, have it all live streamed and whatnot. Maybe we set that up. Maybe we do, you know, some of the fictional tracks. Like I was already thinking about the Grand Valley 300 kilometers, St. Croix. Sounds fun. I was actually favoring St. Croix over Sardegna today. But the AI have a bit of a skill issue thing going on there, so I'm not a huge fan. There are specific sections of the track that they are really slow on that can be very easily manipulated and makes for a boring race. Just because their pathing is not great. Whereas here, even though I'm on wheel, even though I'm giving a lot of what I have, you know, the AI are keeping up. They are not just letting me run away with it. Like, that 787 is already on my butt. Are they going to run out of fuel soon? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is they are fighting for the overall lead. And this is their track to shine. It seems like that team car, though, the other GR010, keeps getting... It's either they keep getting damaged or they keep getting in for some reason. The likes of which I don't know. Oh, shoot. I misjudged that one. I wonder if the AI can get penalties. That's an interesting question. Seems like the Corvette's doing okay, though. I'm interested to know what position they're in, but I think I have the little markers turned off. I can turn that on pretty quickly, but it's not that deep. Catching a lot of GT traffic pretty regularly. Looks like that Audi might have even run out of fuel. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Someone will have to keep an eye on the mini-map. I might not be able to. They look like they're moving at a pretty low rate of speed. Yeah, I think my observation was correct. I think they're doing 50. All the way up and all the way down. Yeah, they are a sitting duck up there. This thing is working, though. This thing is working well. coming in. They're not going in. I thought they were going in for a second. Gonna defend the corner a little bit, but not much. Yeah, Lebedev keeps coming in, so something is wrong with that. Something is wrong, and I'm curious to see in the replay what all happened. Not gonna save it, but I will try and check. I'll try and remind myself to check it before we leave the race, because I am curious what happened. Seems like occasionally the TSO50s are running into issues. Call them reliability issues. I just grazed the wall there. Luckily, I didn't get any damage. Big pack going on. We're about to lap one of the other Group 1 cars, who's stuck behind a Group 2 car. Had to check out quite a bit there. But that's because that Bugatti is really poorly suited to this track, and I should have changed it out before the beginning of the race, but that's on me. I don't think that thing's going to be very strong in any meta on any given track just because of how weak it is in a straight line. It has tons of downforce. Tons of downforce. But the speeds at which it needs to work are usually the speeds at which it is already compromised in the air. They're both going in. They're all three going in. That car looks stricken. Looked like they were only doing like 50 on the straight and just past the pit lane. So I'm not sure what happened there. Either the fuel calculations are just not working for the AI anymore or something's wrong. But it's chaotic. It's a very chaotic race, and still interesting. Still an interesting one, just chaotic. So I'm curious to see what happens. It looks like they are catching me again. You can kind of see what's going on, too. They're yo-yoing a bit, for sure. So, like, if I stretch out a lead, they're going to start just making that time up in spades. But it is keeping the race interesting, at least. So I'm not just running with it. I think I might need to come in this lap, though. I might need to come in this lap. I could probably stretch it, but I'll wait till next time. We did less damage on the tires that time, though, so that's good. We are down to second. And we've got about half an hour out of the way, so now we've just got to get through the bulk of the race. So far, so good. We are handling it. Shoot. I don't even know what fell just now. I was looking away. As you probably saw. But yeah, we are in the lurch now. So 37 seconds to first and 5th, 13-12 to the 787 behind, which is clearly shown that it has pace. Wave to our friend the TSO20 as we go by. Our predecessor. It's funny, we have 3 different cars that all follow that same naming convention. 4, technically, if you count both the TSO50s. No. 5. Because there are 2 GR010s, 2 TSO50s, and 1 TSO20. And they're in the pits. Mazda's catching me like, whoa. Still gonna put this Bugatti a lap down, because it's only right. Yeah, that thing is unhealthily slow in a straight line. I get it, but it's a bad time. They come out. Yeah, something is going on with that Audi. I'm guessing that thing is having issues. So it keeps being magnanimously slow in a straight line, so something's going on with it. So teething issues, I suppose. They're having a pretty bad race. But the race is still working pretty well for us. My mouse fell, that's what it was. To get that the next opportunity. I'm also almost out of battery juice. So that will be interesting. The car had enough hybrid juice to get us through through half an hour. I don't think it's going to have a whole lot more to give. So we will see how it's going to impact us from a lap time standpoint. Car feels pretty similar, if I'm honest. Because that battery is depleted. Jeez, just passed on merit. Still not using any deploy. It's not the tidiest lap, but let's see what it ends up being. Fuck hurts. You can see it's not hurting for the hybrid. You can see he was actually using a very low amount of deploy. Now we're using it again. Just got unsighted by that Audi. It's clearly having an issue. I don't know what's going on there. So that was a 31.8. Yeah, and the Audi just keeps going. So something's seriously wrong with it. We're just going to continue to avoid it for the rest of the entire race as I have a moment. Wasn't paying attention. This might be my chance. Because they don't know how to pass. That's the issue. That is a whole issue, and this is just not a great track for it. Like, there's some room, but there's not enough room. Grab a little bit of K-rail there. Nice. Love it. So this is going to be my struggle now, is that I'm effectively out of battery. And the car is just going to keep toggle between having like 2 to 3% battery to use and not having any. So that's, ooh, shit, the race that I'm in. Excuse my language. Yeah, not sure what is going on with this Audi. It's the weirdest thing. Oh, I saw that one on the mirrors. That was a giant hit. TS050 grabbed a little piece of that Audi that's still limping around, doing a whole lot of nothing. Hopefully that'll encourage them to go to the pits or something. Clearly they're having some issues. I mean, I kind of, like, it's almost like cathartic in that, like, yeah, you ran out of fuel. Your price is that you don't get to, your race is done, effectively, but it's also like a huge hazard to everyone else. It's like, okay, we're going to penalize everyone else for your error. So you get to lap the team car there. Don't think I'd seen them come into the pits for a while, so that's good. Yep, bunch of them coming in. Not on empty tanks either. Not even sure where that Audi is at currently. Hopefully they come into the pits though, we'll see. I think there's only one Audi, so we'll see. Ah, understeer. It's a very chaotic race. Very chaotic. On brand. Anyways, we're almost at the halfway point now. We might have to pit in on lap 28. Maybe able to stretch to 29. I think it's probably going to be 28. Holy moly. Yeah, so something's clearly wrong with that Audi. It's just broken. Race control needs to wake up and smell the roses. Someone get race control on the phone. Because it would be so much more fun to do this with cars that are not actually just completely hamstrung. Oh god, I'm deep, I'm way too deep. Oh, you're kidding me. You are kidding me. And now I have damage. And I'm in second. Well, that has compromised my race. I'm tempted to come in for damage, but the car still feels very drivable. So I'm gonna rock with it. Because I ain't no, I understand what's at stake here. Though I also took the Mazda with me. I gave them damage, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And that was not intentional, it just kind of happened. We will assess the penalty at the end of the race. We'll call it a 30-second penalty. A 30-second penalty for unsafe driving at the end of the race if it is deemed to be that we are at fault. Which, based on the nature of the incident, I believe I am at fault for that, but this is more in good fun. Call it smacking of confidence. Had to really slow down for that one. But that's what endurance racing is. It's knowing when to check up and when not to. It's precisely what it is. This guy having just as much acceleration as me, despite not even being in the same class. It's knowing how to play the game, and playing the game. Yeah, this is just developing into Hell Race. Meanwhile, I'm also having a bit of an iffy go of it. It's fun, though. It's definitely a fun time. It's just, like, super chaotic. To the point where, like, I'm even losing my concentration. Like, it was not supposed to be this difficult. Now to lose time with this just for repairs as well. So then we should do 6 stints roughly, with it kind of laying like this. 6 or 7. Yep, I'm struggling. Fuel, suspension damage, and we're off. Still on no hybrid power, pretty much. That is the one thing that the TS050s will have on me, is that because their capacity is so lower, but they can still generate about the same amount of charge in braking areas. A little bit of a moment there. And we're still fighting for the lead. Because they're generating just as much charge, but we're on lower capacity, they can effectively still generate quite a bit of hybrid capacity. Like, they can still generate enough to get them out of corners pretty well. But this track also doesn't lend itself very well to that. Meaning that they... I'm gonna get fast. They are effectively playing the game of, we're going to have a couple of corners where we're going to get that launch off. There are a couple of them where they're just going to be completely left to the lurch. Or where they're not going to get that full launch off. But yeah, we're still having a race for second. And amazingly, it's with the Group C car and not with the hybrids, which is what I more expected. Got the double draft going on and brakes. Oh! I killed him. I killed him. Alright, and I got the penalty for it. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. That's my fault. I went down there on the brakes like I was just, you know, trying to get him. And then basically he took evasive action and I had to take evasive action and turn into a whole thing. take the penalty here. Cool. Love it. That was a pretty funny moment, though, I have to admit. I want to see how the car feels, but also, like, it feels okay. Like, I'm still driving. They're absolutely gonna fit in for that, yeah. I did far more damage to their race than they did to mine. The car is not quite as good, though. The car is certainly not quite as good. It's funny, because when I first had that accident down at turn 1, I thought that... Oh, shoot. I thought that I hit the 787 into the GT1, which then careened off the side. But what happened was I actually just straight up propelled them completely off. Straight up propelled the 787 completely off. Which I think did get an incidental hit on the GT1, but did not really ruin their race in any way, shape, or form. That's the thing, though. There's really not a whole lot of downforce corners on this track. Like, I can think of maybe 2, like, proper downforce corners. There's like specific areas of the track where they are way right now. Yeah, definitely try and pass on the left there, just because if you catch them pitting or you catch them at the wrong moment, you are going to basically find yourself trapped. That speaks more to the AI than to the actual dynamics of the track. Yeah, and sure enough, I'm almost certain that 787 is going to come back and fight us, regardless. it's funny, I was reticent. I was like, do I really want to put more Group C cars in here? I was like, no, they're probably just going to languish. They're going to be left in lurch. And sure enough, they're the strongest fighters. Meanwhile, that TSO50 back there is a lap behind us. And they don't know how to handle lap traffic. Who knows what they're doing? Holy moly. I have so much grip out there. They made me look like a fool. I suppose that's the organic penalty I get for having all this damage I'm carrying. It really is a madhouse out here. I will say that without a shadow of a doubt. And I love it, but at the same time, it's like, holy crap. Can we, like, calm down for 8 seconds? Can we get some good racing for 8 seconds? But there's been a bit of everything here, so I'm really not displeased. So yeah, that Toyota that passed me a little earlier, I guess it's the American one. I have no clue where the Bugatti went, but the Bugatti has fallen down the order. I think they are... Ooh. Glad I saw that coming. They are below P8, I'm pretty confident. That's all I know. They are Group 2 cars that are giving them the hurt. Leaving them in the lurch. No, that is not the way to do it. Almost an hour through the race. We just lost 8 seconds to that spin. We're still a minute ahead of the next car. That's wild. Crap. I'm losing it now. Should have just gone to the pits there. Whatever. May as well go into the pits this lap. Seems like they got slowed pretty dramatically, likely by this Audi up here, who's gone all of nowhere. Alright, they're in the pits. I'm going in the pits. They're likely going to have a shorter stop. Let's make it count, I guess. Sounds like them coming in. We got half an hour to go. Dang, they're out already, and I'm still just getting fueling started. It's a bad time. Error repairs, so we're good. Oh crap, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It was either that or I get a penalty for... Great. Yeah, awareness, everybody. Gotta love it. Love to see it. Terrible pit entrance. Or pit exit, I mean. Can we still be a factor in this race? That is the question. We effectively ruined P3's race with that, though, because that was for position. I might need a pit early for this. This is kind of bad. It's kind of bad. Let's see if we can do ultimate pace. Seems like I'm very down on straight line. I think we pit immediately for this one. Oh, yep, we pit immediately for this one. This is bad. The car's not like super unstable, but you can tell through some of the faster corners it's gonna have some issues. I don't think we lost it because of that, but I think that's gonna hurt our race quite a lot. Yeah, the car is pretty slow. I can feel it. The car is quite slow. We pit this lap to rectify. Oh goodness. And they had it coming together. Because that Audi is still broken. I'm glad I anticipated that. Yeah, because when this thing has hybrid, it's great, but when it's still hurting. No tires. Let's go full fuel. Why not? What a waste. Let's try and claw back P2, I guess. I think that we can definitely get P1 back, but that's going to take some doing. So I'm not going to say it's just a foregone conclusion. There we go. Now we've got a car again. Yellows, okay, that's not good. That's not good to see them turn that way. Got lucky to see that one. Thank goodness for yellow. Ignored a yellow. F my life. I get it. I made a pass under yellow, but still. We are off cycle with the 787 though now. So that's our chance. Bye. Very much amateur hour over here. Fun, but amateur hour. Dang, this gap is stretched. Yeah, effective final stint, if we're playing for the win, might be to go on softs. So my only real hope is they run into traffic that's going to mess up their race. Seems like they're doing a really good job of getting around all of it. Risky, but worth it. That 787 is a monster. It's trucking. Will would be pleased. Went way too deep on the brakes there. Picked wrong there. Could have gotten underneath. I think it's on a long run too. What the heck? Are you kidding me right now? Yeah, my only hope is they have a mechanical. Which, I mean, if that's the case, it is what it is. What's going on, Oni? Good to see you. Just chillin'. Doing a quick offline endurance race and taking a bit of a load off. How about yourself? How have you been? Yeah, it's been a lot worse actually. This has been a bit more of a loaded race. More chaotic than I expected. Partially down to careless AI, but also partially just down to the dynamics of the track. Like you'll see in a second here, that guy's just out of fuel for whatever reason and is not hitting. So. I think first I've had a moment just now, though. Their timing went blank for a moment, which meant they might have been stopped. That's them in the pits. She'll be in shortly thereafter, but we can play this to our advantage. Saw you're live while you're at work. I feel you. I might be visiting down there sooner than you expect, actually. I have to see. It'll probably be close to summertime. So yeah, it's coming this next lap then. My only hope is that they have to take another pit stop, and then this is going to be my last one. But that's really about it. Woo! That was almost a moment. They ran right into the car that had no fuel in it. Yes, I'm so down to hit the canyons. I got the hankering now. I'm getting a little bit more. I got the bug when I was in Colorado for the twisty roads, and now there's one that's right by my my residence. I love it. So I would love to see what I got. Crap, we're catching them, but we have to pit in. So our only hope is they have to pit in again, or they get damaged or something. Which can happen. You saw the AI just crash into each other a moment there. Oh, they're in the pits again. It did happen. Something happened. This is my chance. Alright. Well, if we're going to go for the win, let's go for the win then. Right? I don't think I need full fuel, but I'm going to take it just in case. I'm taking 95, actually. Alright, so they should be good for the rest of the race then. But if they catch damage again, then that's pretty much an insta-win for us. I doubt we'll be able to close up 30 in 10 minutes, but we'll see. 30 on 30 on 30. Shake and bake. Yeah, I think we played this pretty well, so we just have to close the gap now. Play the traffic game, run it smart. Oh, this thing breaks well now. I was not watching the weather at all, but it didn't really do anything. Just gave ourselves plenty of room to steer clear of that foolishness, so that's good. Alright, you take care. Catch you soon, Oni. We ain't giving up for nothing. Teammate car. Haven't seen them in a minute. Nice. A little bit of Moses action there. We're holding pretty steady right now. The shade starts to come in. Thank you for letting me in. Appreciate it. I'm not closing all that quickly. Oh my goodness, every time. It's if you take second there, that's really the whole issue. Okay. Seems like it's not a debilitating amount of damage, just very annoying. We lost like 10 seconds to just to that. They may have lost time as well. I don't know what's going on. Well, I'm glad we did have a varied field, though, for Group 1, because it ended up being that the GR010 was a relative pushover compared to us. I'm sure that the boost would have played it a little bit differently, but 787, factor. Yeah, because they're still catching traffic pretty bad in some cases, but it doesn't seem like they're getting any damage off of it. Quite a few people coming in for a final stop of sorts. The real question is, can that car stay out of trouble up to the very end of the race? So, I mean, we got a very comfortable buffer to third. Heck, we're close to lapping them. Looks like we got only 2 laps to go. And if nothing else, this was a very interesting race up to the bitter end. It seemed like it was a bit of a foregone conclusion for quite a while, and then, like I said, that 787 came back to play, and then we slipped up at a time when it was meaningful. Still a lot of time to go. I think it's like 40 minutes left. Yeah, they kept that gap alive to the bitter end. So good on them. Oh, they're in the pits. They're in the pits. No way. We might have just gotten something. Oh my days. Oh my days. Can we convert? It depends. Are they foolish enough to take fuel? If they are, then we might have been able to do something. No, they aren't foolish enough to take fuel. Okay. So they're back out already. Dang. Really had me hemmed up at the end there. White flag's out. By less than 10 seconds, too. What a shame. Well, it was a thriller to the end. Yep, couldn't quite get him. Something like 6 seconds. Whew. Not too bad, though. Managed to come away with a P2. We're the only other car to finish on the lead lap. At least that gives us a little bit more pocket change to work with. Dang. So this is like half an hour into the race. I want to just see that one incident. But I also want to see what's going on with that Audi. Oh, that crap. That was annoying. That was probably one of the turning points of the race. Just coming out and immediately having that happen. I think it was further back, actually. I don't think it was here. Maybe. It might have been here, actually. No? So now I'm thinking about it. Let me see what's going on with this. So the car is out of fuel. Engine damage. Okay, so lap 6, they were still in the race. Let's see if we can fast forward a little bit, see what happened. And still hasn't pitted for damage, interestingly. Has been carrying damage for at least a lap. Yeah, so there was some foolishness going on where it basically stopped tracking their laps. It's not showing, though. Yeah, I'm very confused, I guess. This is 20 minutes into the race. Obviously, this is not the most pressing thing. But I am curious. Okay, so lap 13, they're still running, they're still cooking. Whatever. And they run out of fuel somewhere on this lap, I guess. So I think something happened where it was telling them not to pit. For whatever reason. So they run out of fuel right there. 23 some odd minutes into the race. And then... I'm curious to see, like, does he even try to make them go in once or no? No, just has them stay out the entire time. So weird. Yeah, I have no clue why that happened or what that glitch was about. And also when they got engine damage, but that's not really important here. Yeah, no, so that had nothing to do with it. Anyways, back to my race. feel like the lap chart would give us a pretty good idea of what was going down, but I don't even know. Was it on 36? It might have been on lap 36. At any rate, who knows, who cares? We didn't even get the dub. But it was interesting. It was a fun time. 6 seconds at the end of an hour and a half. So, pretty interesting. Definitely a bit assisted, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I'd like to do better next time, but that's the way it goes. See what's going on with this. How many laps is it? 10? It is 10 laps. Honestly, the 650 over here might be pretty good for it. But with that said, I would probably rather use a Group 4 car. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a better choice, but I guess I would rather. Maybe the Corvette, maybe not. I don't think it's a BOP event. Like, I think it's... Yeah, it's open, so... The Corvette would have quite a bit of power, so it would be relatively strong. 650 also sounds like it would be a great choice. Mustang wouldn't be bad. Really anything I choose here, I'd say. I'm probably inclined more toward the Corvette than anything else, but I don't know. I'm gonna be right back. I had to use the restroom really quick. So, with all of that said, I think that I'm really happy with that last race. It went super well. It went maybe not quite according to plan, but it was interesting. It was very enticing, and I had a lot of fun. So, more than I expected to. Sort of like there was a lot going on, both with all the chaos and the cars and that one Audi that was not even no, I'm not getting off. You fool. What's going on, True Blood? Good to see you. Yeah, that race went really well. We did just finish the 1.5 hours of Sardegna, however you want to pronounce it. And we got second. We didn't win. We lost to the AI. So, as Oni said earlier, if you ain't first, you're last. So I want blood, but also I'm hyper motivated to get back in and do it again because it was just the right amount of chaotic and dramatic Sargento cheese. So I want more. Not going to do that today, but I think that does inform where I'm going to go next. I think the next race I'm going to probably do is the Grand Valley 300. And I'm probably going to use the SF23 for that one. And that one obviously will not be a multi-class race since I'm going to be in the Super Formula. We'll just have a full grid, 20 cars, Super Formula. We might even take that, what's it called? Take the catch-up mechanics off, just so it's a little bit more organic. But I'll have to do some testing with it first. If things go to plan, I'll be on it next week. If things don't go to plan, probably be a couple weeks out or so. Grind that 400k. I'm not sure what you mean by that. 400k. I'm not sure if you mean the credits or if you mean, or what you mean. Either way, I think I am going to jump into. Excuse me. I'm either thinking the Corvette or the McLaren. Those are kind of my two go-tos. It's not going to be a BOP race, so I'm kind of leaning Corvette. But McLaren's a fun car to drive too. Oh, World Touring Car 900 performance points, Lemons. Maybe I'll get on. Maybe I'll do that one after this race. I think I would be down to do that. And then probably call the stream after that, because it'll be moderately late by that point. We'll be going for 3 hours, I think. 13x, though. That's demanding. Yeah, it's got to be a pit stop race. So I think we're on the right tires. So yeah, I'm going to knock out this World Touring 700, and then I'm going to do the World Touring 900, and then I think we'll call it after that. But how has your week been, buddy? I know that we've been talking on and off, you know, not on the Twitch services, but, you know, how's life? Excited for the weekend? I'm still a little bit salty. Still a little salty of that last race, I gotta admit. But I'm not gonna dwell on it. I'm just gonna go right in, play the game. Because really, if I drove that last one better, I would have won. And that's facts on wax. One thing is nice, I can actually drive this. Why are you so fascinated with that race? I must know. And are you trying to see the new car, or are you trying to see the best car? That's the real question I want to know. If you're still there, True Blood. Are you trying to see the real? Are you trying to see the new car, or are you trying to see the best car? Tackle that one. Because the Super GT cars are genuinely going to be worse at that track because it is a high-speed track. So obviously those are all off the table. Are you trying to see me take my car? Because I will take my car. I don't give a damn. Well, if you wanted to see me win, you picked the wrong day to watch, homie. But no, I got you. And we'll see how hard the grind is going to be, because those races are not particularly easy. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. Same thing with that kind of end game ramp. Once you get into like the faster stuff, the AI actually really pick up the pace. Like, obviously I'm trying to drive fairly clean right now, but I'm really not gaining on any fucking time. Small moment. Wiki Bobby. Get some brake balance in there too. Definitely a dive bomb if I ever saw one. Not exactly the preferred line to that corner will live. Sit up in my seat. The good news is that there will be a pit stop, so that is sort of what we're banking on right now. And that happened. A little bonk. But yeah, you missed that last race, though. There's a lot of chaos going on. One of the cars was out of fuel for like at least 2/3 of the race and just kept going around. And I don't know if you know, but on GT, if the car runs out of fuel, it'll just let them keep going and just keep going at 50 miles an hour instead of just going at 50 miles an hour the entire fucking time. And it was really aggravating for both me and the other cars because I had damage on. So if you weren't paying attention, you hit that car, you pretty much had to go back to the pits. And that was that. But for whatever reason, that AI was so broken that they something was telling them not to go back to pit lane for whatever reason. It was really, really. I was trying to figure out why, but I couldn't ultimately find a reason. All right, we are in P7 now, 15 seconds off the lead. And I think it would be wise for us to pit right around lap 5, but let's see. I think we're going to pit onto the soft tire, though, because we're going to have plenty of tire left over here. I'm going to focus on winning the race. If they pit, then we should be fine, but if they don't, we're really going to have a lot of work to do. This thing is understeer, and if I was smart, I would have tuned it, but I didn't, so it happens. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and box next lap. I would think about doing it this lap, but I don't know if the softs are going to last all that long, so I'll play it a little bit safe. You can also see I've got pace on that pretty clean, pretty easily. Particularly once I'm in clean air, like that's when it gets like really easy to see, like, oh yeah, I've got this on lock. Now, I have to imagine that they're going to pit, but it's also very possible that some of them are in a good enough place where they won't. So I'm curious to see. I have done this race before and finished as low as 5th, so shrug. This time not leaving much a chance in the pace department. Yep, and we'll fill it to about that diamond for 80%. We're gonna see what it do. If we get them, we get them. If we don't, we don't. Scenes from the pit lane. That was actually a relatively slow tire change. So yeah, if they don't pit, I'm fucked, quite frankly, but you know, it is what it is. One of them pitted already, so that's already a good sign. And another one. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Biggie Smalls. It's like they're going out onto the soft tires. They are going to be part of our race. Our race should be assured in that. I'm not sure if they just haven't pitted yet, or if I misread that. We should be fine at this rate. There we go. And the race has officially come back to us. I'm still trying to stay relatively focused. So anything can still happen. Get it up and under. We got a little bit of extra fuel now too, so that's good. These are always positives. Another one bites the dust. Now you got 2 laps to cover 3 seconds. Easy enough. 26.9, not too bad. Leaving a little bit of extra room up there, not trying to drive super hard now that I know what I'm kind of playing for. Though we are leaning on the tires quite a lot. We did take quite a lot out of them, which is why I'm really glad that we pit on lap 5 and not lap 4. So that would make this part of the race a lot harder. And like, this is a Group 4 race. Like, this is not particularly hard cars to drive by any stretch of the imagination. But just the difficulty jump and how the races are structured it's apparent. It is apparent. Had to fake under him at least. Whether it was for steez or whether it was for necessity, I'll never tell. We have taken a lot out of our front right tire. Also, I'm curious to know, Trueblood, what did you end up getting on that time trial? Did you, you said you got down to 38, right? On the Fuji one. Ooh, deep, 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 deep. Stall warning. I'm interested in taking a look at that again, but I don't know if I'm going to do that on today's stream. That might be a later thing on the cord. Maybe not today, even. I still call BS that wasn't a clean race, but I get it. Alright, we got the ticket from that too. Heck yeah. Good. Deserved. Deserved. Dessert. All right, let's go ahead and tackle that World Touring Car 900, of which you spake, Mr. LeMans. Okay, Mr. Essay. I say, prepare to be written. I technically could use my Group 1 car for this. Because, yeah, it's not a bop race, so... I technically have options here. I know that's not the intention. But something tells me you either want to see the best car or the new car. So you tell me, since you're the one asking. So I'm going to need to put tires on either one of these. As a matter of fact, I need to strategize what I'm going to do in this actual race. NEW. Let's see. 4x fuel, 8x tire. We already said it's going to be about 30-40 minutes, so I anticipate that being a couple stops. Part of me is like put it in a low downforce configuration. The other part of me is like it doesn't really matter that much. 46? What a twist. That's funny. That's funny. I like it. Oh yeah, it's in max downforce. What the heckle? How about I do like a mid downforce configuration? I can run that. Part of me is like I should buy the right tires in case I end up needing them, but maybe I'll start on mediums, because why not? If we need, and we can thank that last race for the money because it helped. Yeah, let's just load in. I'm taking too much time to think about this. We have the tires. In the words of Drew Scanlon, we have the tires. Because really the highest I would want to tune this to is like 870 right now. Just so I have the option to switch to soft tires if I need it. Uh-oh, are we starting at the nighttime? Are we starting at nighttime? Is that what we're playing today? Doesn't look like there's gonna be any weather coming in. Should be fun. Alrighty. Also, you still owe me that fucking La Mazda race. I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. Anyway, so yeah, no weather coming in. What does Ura have to say? The Gazoo Racing GT Cup champion. A big part of me is saying that I should absolutely be putting hard tires on it, though. You must leave in a few, but you'll watch the replay later. You weren't gonna catch the whole race anyway, but yeah, I'll make sure the VOD stays up. You can either catch it here or on YouTube. Shameless plug. Yep, I'm live on YouTube as well. Also live on Facebook, so if you guys want to check that out, or if you want to recommend it to a friend who's not on your preferred platform because they suck, just tell them that it's on all of them. So yeah, let's get right into it. We'll start on the mediums and we'll just figure it out from there. Gloves on, knuckles cracked. And we are in the twilight hours as we get started. Yeah, some group 3, some group 2 cars on track with us. They have a bit of a penchant to do, when they have some of the Super GT cars on there, they like to have all the Super GT cars, even though some of them are not in the same performance envelope. So yeah, we should, we're at least, we're 45 seconds down from the lead at this stage. Doing about a $2.20. So this thing scoots. She scoots. I really like the interior of this car too. It's so nice. It's very Spartan in the best of ways. Just about gets that braking point right too. Alright, so yeah, it seems like we're making some quick work of this. Don't know how the tires and fuel are going to play out, but saying we got about 4 laps in the car. Seems like we could probably stretch this to a one-stopper. Let's see what's going on. The tires will tell us what else is going on. If we're smart, we can definitely stretch this to a one-stopper. Yeah, car's handling really well. It's taking it like a champ. And actually adjust the brake balance a little bit to suit. So I now have to wonder, if they have the older GT500 cars in here, did they tune them so that they're more in line with Group 2, or is it just, we just pop them in because it would look cool? I don't really know. From a platform state of mind, I kind of get it. Nice and slow through the forged canes. This thing's got power. It's got charm. It's got gears. It's got all of the things that a racer could want. So yeah, I think we're going to try and get it to that halfway marker and then bring it in. Car's obviously got the pace, without a shadow of a doubt. Just brought under 30 seconds within a lap. Nice. Let's get right around him. Yeah, this thing is closing like no one's business. Worst case scenario, like if the tires don't hold up that long, which it seems like they're going to hold up that long, if you ask me, then we pit in on lap 4 and we just try to stretch the fuel on the second stint. Now, I would say this is probably going to be tougher if you're running the car on default settings, i.e. full downforce, but realistically, it's not like it's going to be like hamstrung in so doing. It's going to handle this really well. And I'm pretty sure that the people at PD designed this race with the intention that you were going to be using this car. So, it makes all the sense to me. I do think I'm going to go ahead and call this the last one, so after this race we'll go ahead and shut down the stream, find some people to raid. If you have any raid recommendations, and you're on the Twitch side of things, go ahead and pop them down in the chat. I'm always looking to find some new people to go ahead and check out. So if you have anyone that you want to raid, just let me know. Put it down in the chat and I'll go ahead and hit them up after everything's done. Nice, they were able to squeeze in there. Already down to 15 seconds pretty much. Long old gears on this thing. Almost doing 80 in first. Minutes 29 on that setup. You use a lift for that first. Use a lift for that right-hander before the chicane. So that's something to note. If you're used to driving prototypes through there and it's going flat, this is not one of those. Maybe with full downforce, but not for me. Oh yeah, this thing's composed. It's got no problems hitting that number. The only issue that I'm seeing is that it's maybe not going to make it 5 laps on fuel alone unless I'm short shifting it. So if you're not careful, this might turn into a 2-stop race. Okay, try to get away from me there. Try to get away from me. Caught it. It was a lot better than the GR010, because once you got into second gear and you got into a passenger slide, the cars kind of gave up on you. With this, it at least gave us something. But this is like how you imagine a Le Mans prototype is supposed to feel. Like this is how an LMGTP is supposed to act. Same deal there. Try to get away from me. I think the rear tires are going. Rear tires going definitely is a factor in that, so you gotta be mindful. But we are already up to third, so the pace is there. If you're using this car, the pace is there. If you don't have this car, I'd probably recommend using... if you don't have a Group 2 car already, I would highly recommend probably grabbing... it depends on how much money you have, actually. If you are hard-pressed for money, you don't have a Group 2 car, tune a Group 3 car. That's probably the smartest answer to that equation. Leave the downforce levels default. Maybe even drop them a little bit. But I would say a Group 3 car is going to be your easy answer if you're tight on cash, and just put a turbo kit on it or something. Part of me is also wanting to say that the Group 2, like even one of the Super GT cars, you got one of those and took some downforce off of it, it would probably do pretty well. So that's an option. As I go way too deep there. I'd say if you got one of the $800,000 or 2 cars out of the Grand Central, that could work. I'd actually probably recommend going with like one of the 2008 Super GT cars, but it does depend because those I think are like definitely at a lower performance envelope than the newer ones. So maybe try the newer ones and then drop the downforce on them. If you can get one of the legendary cars like the, probably not the McLaren, but if you can get the CLK-LM or if you can get this for 2.5, go with that. Easily going to be your best bet for this race. Otherwise, I would say just get like an NSX GT and then drop the downforce on it or something, or a GTR. The 2016 models, that is. Shift nice and short, mind the rear tires. They're definitely giving me, I'm not holding on all that well, but I think I can get them to lap 5. Though I don't necessarily need to. Let me just try and see how they act here. So they're not too unwieldy. If I'm gentle on them, they'll be fine. The real question is, can I stretch the fuel all that long? And the answer is I don't know. I'm just going to vibe it out for the rest of the lap. And if it feels good, then if it feels good for the rest of the lap, then I'm just going to try and go one more. But it's already looking pretty tight. We're on 1.3, and we're not even down to the Mulsanne corner. I'm tempted to pit in this lap, just to play it safe, but I don't know. For data's sake, I want to. But I feel like I'm shortchanging myself in so doing. If you're careful, you can definitely one-stop this, but I'm going to one-stop it, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit onto hard tires. Yeah, watch for that pit entry too. That pit entry is gonna be tricky as hell. The other issue is that I'm taking full fuel now. I have 6 laps to cover. 6 whole laps. So if I'm not very careful, this is not going to go all the way. Tires should be fine. I'm not worried about the tires in any way, shape, or form because we're hitting onto hards. So really what I'm testing here is, can I save enough fuel? Make this viable. we're back down into P10. And the tires are going to have less grip now too, so I have to be mindful as well. That overall pace advantage is going to definitely shrink, but I don't think there's any way they're not going to be able to pit at the front, so I should be able to get that time back. I'm still going to be fast in a straight line too, so that's also a huge advantage. But I've got to save massive amounts of fuel. Such to the point that I'm going to put it on map 2 and just let it live. Do some lifting and coasting. And I have to remember the tires are not as good as well. A little bit of lifting and coasting there as well. It's very gentle on the thing. It's a little bit more tendency to get loose on the way out of the corner on the hard tires, obviously. Just gotta be mindful of that, but otherwise the car's pretty good. So workable. Nice lift. Down the brakes early, just in case. I tend to mess up this corner a lot. Really start to hammer in the shifting early part, because I need to make this last 6 laps. It is telling me I'm not going to get more than 5. So really I need to do a great job of lifting and coasting on the way into most of these corners. And downshifting a bit later too, that would help. You can see I'm still catching the lead car pretty quickly. So, it's not like it's that big of a deal. Just want to make sure you're on top of it. But yeah, this thing it's glorious. It's a joy to drive. You need to be very measured with it, though, if you want it. Like firm, but measured. No lift on the way into the forged canes, might be. Gonna wait back here. There's a little bit of slipstream. Dang, it's like that, man. I get it, you can corner better than me, jeez. Are you that mad at me for trying? Okay, we're actually doing pretty good on the fuel. So we still have 4.1, and we're on the straight now, so I would expect it to be worse by this point. We've also done a good job of lifting and coasting, but we need to basically get another lap back before we're on target in terms of fuel consumption. And the tires are still pretty responsive too, so that's always good. I think the best part is I really didn't have to kick the fuel map into overdrive. Just doing a little bit of lifting and coasting before each big braking zone has really helped on the fuel. cave on. Yeah, we already got the gap back under 20 seconds. It would appear the cars in front have not pitted yet, though. Yeah, we were doing good on fuel consumption, that is for sure. Because we were 4.1 at the top of the Mulsanne straight. We're at 3.7 now. We should have burned more than that, in theory. So I don't know if we're on target yet, but we might be on target. We are having fun. This is a long race. We're already 21 minutes deep, and we're just past the halfway point, like I was telling you, Will. I know you may or may not be here, but... There goes a lead car into the pits. There they go into the pits. And I know you already saw on my thing, but watch out for that pit entry. It's going to be ridiculously goofy. Also, you might have to do a menu book to get this event unlocked. I don't know. Just so you're aware. Might be locked behind an extra menu book wall. So if you haven't completed the main game yet, I'm not sure if you can do this event straight away. Not sure what happened there. My game had a little hang up. Yeah, we're on 3.4 now. Coming back to the top of the Mulsanne. We're doing well, but we need to gain that little bit more back. So I just took a little bit of my foot out of it before lifting, before braking. But the cars, it's receiving it very well. It's receiving it exceptionally well. The issue is pace deficit, but I think we're doing okay on that. Besides, I would be very surprised if the car in front doesn't have to pit or has not yet already pit. Obviously, you can tell, though, we're not catching them at a rate of super fast rate, as a rate of knots, I would like usually say, but because we're in the same car. It's the other guy who's also in the TSO2. Alright, we're at 3.0 laps to go, 57% fuel left, and we are at the bottom of the lap, so we need to stretch a little bit more, but based on the calculations, we are doing a good job of stretching. Just a little bit more lift and coast should get us home. going to the pits on 8% fuel. So now all I need to do is survive. And we're on 2.7 coming across the line, which means you only need to save another 0.3 to make target. So yeah, we should be plenty good. Car's working, we're working, everything's working. Except for Squidward. Squidward is not working. Spare change. So yeah, this is sort of just a slow burn, a quiet burn, if you will. Just get us to the finish line. Having a little bit of trouble getting 100% braking. Might need to play with my pedal settings. It's always one of those things where, like, for iRacing I want it tuned one way, and then for everything else I want it tuned another way. So, choices. Compromises. Just gotta be gentle and listen to the voice of the car. I'm also thinking about getting my getting rid of the Sparko seat and installing my new seat on here soon. I don't know. That might be a project for another stream, and it might be a project that I'll just do off camera. I'm not certain yet. Alright, we're 1.9 coming across here. Obviously, we definitely had to knock down the pace a little bit, being on harder tires and just also trying to save more fuel. Just 2 laps to go. 2 more laps. Try and make sure we get some good lifting and coasting in here too. Lifting and toasting. We got 21-second gaps a second, so that's good. More than we ever got. Well, I shouldn't say that, but certainly more comfortably than we were ever leading the 1.5 of Sardegna. Left hand starting to cramp up. I think that's a good time. Good sign to close things after this as we come up on the 3-hour mark. It's fun to have streams these long, but it's also a little bit much for me. Went way too deep there. Rear tires are starting to get a little bit more divisive, I guess. It's getting to that point where they really are fighting me a little bit more. It's not huge. Coming up on lap traffic, too. We got a bit less than 20% fuel. I don't know why I thought that was a McLaren or something, but that makes more sense. So they're even coming in for a second stop. Or souls. And try and predict if I have any fuel left over, how early I can turn the engine back up to full tilt. Though I'm shifting later, so that's going to also impact it. Right about here. So I think we'll have enough opportunities to just be careful and lift if we need to. going way too deep again. The car's just getting significantly worse to drive. I might just be late on some inputs too. Alright, 1% on fuel. Could have got to 0, but whatever. Not too bad. Plausible that I could have gotten what's it called? Could have gotten a clean race bonus, but driving wasn't quite there. And of course, you'll notice that the other GT1 was clearly the lead car, because it's clearly the best suited to this track in the category otherwise. Surprisingly, Kawakami got third over the F1 GTR. But it's like that sometimes. Anyway. I'm tired. So with that said, let's go ahead and see who is on Twitch. So we can get this raid train started. Alright, I'm with it. Go ahead and pop on over and see Outlaw Quadrant, and then for the rest of you guys, we'll go ahead and get that poppin'. But thank you for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. It's been a fun stream, a long stream, and a good time in general. 5 laps, 30 minutes. 5 laps, 30 minutes. We can kind of do the math on that. But that worked out well. Almost misspelled it. Alrighty then. We've done well for ourselves, but to the rest of you guys, take care, race fair, and I'll be seeing you next time. Probably at some point next week, but I won't make any promises because I'd have to work around my work schedule. So I'll see you guys later.